Hello and welcome to a very special Blue Monkey Bicycles, and this is a series I have always wanted to do. This is the very first Wacky bike review of the DYU S2. DJ, hit me! Check this out. This is the DYU S2. This is the smallest electric bike I have ever tried. I mean, look at this thing. When I'm riding on top of this, I look like a circus bear with these tiny 10-inch wheels. The whole entire bike is 40 inches high and 35.5 inches long. I mean, this entire bike is nearly the size of one big bicycle wheel. Everything is so compact. I mean, the length of the chain is really short, the wheels are minute, the cranks are just pitifully small, even the fork is wrapped in plastic to cover how small it really is. Myself, I'm 6 feet tall, so I'm actually a really good candidate to show how pint-sized the bike actually feels. The range of motion for pedaling is comically small, and even in the high seat position, I'm still hunched over in this perpetual shoulder stretch. And to put my back through even more punishment, the handlebars are actually kind of narrow, making the controls very cramped. And to top all of this off, the bike is really hard to go over even tiny bumps. Jumping over a curb is completely out of the question. So what's the point of riding something that feels like you're on top of rolling luggage? Well, the S2 actually does have a practical use, if you can believe it. It can fit where most other e-bikes can't. Those tiny wheels and the folding handlebars make it super easy to toss in a trunk, or you can even sit on your lap if you're riding the train. The battery is small enough that it can fly on some airlines in the cargo hold, and that's actually pretty cool. Also, the S2 is very small when it's actually open and deployed, so you might even be able to ride this in a crowded street without getting too many mean stares from the pedestrians around you. For storage and use in a crowded metropolis like New York or Shanghai, it actually could make sense. But really, I don't care. This diminutive toy is so much fun to putz around in. The super sensitive steering combined with those microscopic wheels, it makes for an edge-of-your-seat adventure with every single trip on the road. This bike can be a lot of fun to try and turn this giant rollerblade into a usable transportation device. Now, I shouldn't be, but I'm actually surprised that this thing has a headlight, tail light, and even brake lights. But honestly, I think that the idea of being seen on this ridiculous bike is not a problem, since the sight of going down the road is so utterly strange. But one of the strangest things about the bike is that, to me, it's a bicycle-shaped scooter. It does have pedals, but the pedals feel more like a pointless formality. The battery and the electric system is actually surprisingly tanky. I'm not sure why, but DYU isn't using a 250 watt motor. I guess that would be too much. They're using 240 watts. Now, this puny pipsqueak is actually packing 36 volts and 10 amp hours of power in this plastic purse. And to my surprise, it's blasting out a 15 amp controller. It's about double what I was expecting from this little child's toy. In full throttle, it actually puts out a fair punch, and I was impressed. I guess there's a part of me that has a knack for social self-injury because I strapped myself to this blender motor on a baby stroller and I rode the thing until the battery died. It took 15 miles. That is a huge range for such a tiny contraption. But really, that's aside from the point because it would take very specific circumstances to be in the practical market for this wacky bike. I like it because it's a lot of fun, but I think the S2 could be a really good kids electric bike. Around the ages of 8 to 13 or so. That's a market that's really not being served right now. It could be good for smaller riders, especially in a crowded city where you need a great option for a last mile commute. But for large people in the suburbs, for me, it's more of a last resort. Now, if you like this wacky bike review, I've got a lot more bikes that are yet to be filmed, including the Yike bike. I already made a video about the history of this bike, and you can check that out in the player or in the description below. Thanks for watching Blue Monkey Bicycles. I am Mikey, and I will see you on the later.